This modification log is to tackle the first nacelle now that I have a completed one. But before we begin,
Red alert!
So let's start off with the buzzard collector as it comes in red. When the engine is on, yes, it's red, but when it's off, it's more like a orangey red opaque glass. So I'll pop the piece into a container with isopropyl alcohol, which will strip the paint off and bring it back to clear plastic. To help with the light distribution, I'm going to use some silver adhesive paper that I got in the local art and hobby shop ages ago for a previous model, but ultimately didn't use, as a couple of coats of silver paint proved a better and easier solution, but I think it's ideal for this. The earlier model used for the next generation had black inside the buzzard intakes, and I like that, so I'm going to do it here. I'll mask off the parts and spray with a Tamiya TS14 black, and that looks good, I think. Next, I'll fit the buzzard intake in place, and again I've modded these in a previous video. Basically, light blocked with black, a grey primer, and then sand yellow. I think the darker yellow looks more screen accurate. Yes, the filming model was a lighter colour, but on screen I think the darker shade looks better. For the navigation lights, the flashing on the original strip was far too fast, so I'm going to use a variable circuit board and have them flashing about every 3 or 4 seconds. The board consists of a timer socket and a variable resistor, which will determine the speed of the flashing. I used 2 3mm clear bulbs and soldered them onto the circuit board. Because they're going onto the board, I didn't need to put a separate resistor on each bulb. And a further 2 cables which will connect to the LED strip a little later. The variable can be altered here to determine the speed of the flash. A quick test, and that's so much better than what came with the original. I'll use a 3mm red bulb for the buzzard collector and will need a resistor this time, as this will connect directly to the mains. It will connect to 2 LED strip lengths, which will then connect to the 2 cables coming from the circuit board, and a further 2 which will run down to the nacelle pylon to the secondary hull, to eventually connect there. As always, I use a glue gun to protect the solder joints. Just a quick test, and the buzzard collector is looking really good, considering it's just one red LED. Now that the buzzard collector is stripped of its red paint, I'll give it a couple of light coats of frosted glass. Once dry, I used an orange-violet shifter colour from Vallejo. Basically, it changes colour as the light hits it, and I sprayed it inside the buzzard collector. Just before I closed it up, I placed diffuser paper over the LEDs, so when they light up, they'll be a warmer colour. There was a bit of a gap where the parts joined, so I applied a little putty and repainted the buzzard collector. And that's it finished. As I said, the loose cables will run down the pylon and connect to the secondary hull and neck, which I'll also be modding to connect to the mains. So that's it for now. I'm off to start the shuttlecraft Galileo. Until the next time, hailing frequencies closed. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell too. Thank you.